Hey everyone, it's Hailey. Happy Halloween! Today, in honor of Halloween, which is my least favorite holiday, but like, it's fine. I'm still clearly celebrating it this year. But I'm going to be discussing a Bookworm's worst fears. Dun dun dun! So there are a number of things that would terrify a bookworm that not many other people would understand outside of the reading community. They would think that we're really weird for being afraid of these things, but to me they totally make sense. So let's get into a bookworm's worst fears. So scenario number one, you are having a lovely bubble bath, everything is fine, you are happy, you are reading your book, you're sipping your wine, and then you come to a shocking part in the book and then you drop it into the water. There is nothing worse than a wet book because the pages get all crinkly and it's huge and then it's just impossible to reshelve, it's impossible to read again. It is the absolute worst. Similarly, you are sitting there reading, you're drinking your coffee, you're having your snack, and you spill your coffee on your book and then the page gets all stained and all coffee worn and it's just awful. I'm not one who thinks that you need to keep your books pristine and absolutely perfect, but I do hate when books get wet in any way because it's the absolute worst. Now next, you pre-ordered a book, you were so excited for it to come in, you can't wait, and then it's the day of the release and the book does not show up on your doorstep. Or you go to the bookstore and they don't have it yet. You have waited forever to figure out what is going to happen to so-and-so. Are they gonna end up together? Are they gonna break up? You don't know and you just want to know, you want your pre-order and it's not there. From a bookseller perspective, late pre-orders are kind of a fact of life because there are certain books that are strict on sale, so they have a specific on sale date that you cannot release that book before. So that would be why your pre-order gets backlogged, is because it would be a strict on sale, and if they ship it early then it might get to you early and that is a no-no, but it still sucks. Speaking of new and exciting releases, say you just don't really want to spend the money on a book but you're really excited to read it, but when you go to use your lovely library there is a never-ending hold line on the book, so you are left waiting and you're like the 1000th person in line and it just seems like this book will never get into your hands, so you finally have to cave and just buy it, but use your library, but the never-ending hold line sucks. This is a controversial fear because there are some book readers that don't care about this. I'm kind of one of them, and there are some that are absolutely against it, and that is dog-earing a book. I personally don't dog-ear books, but I don't really mind it. I like when a book looks like it's been well loved, except when it gets wet. That is just a thing I can't deal with, but I like when you can tell that there have been numerous people reading a book, loving that book, so dog-earing doesn't really bug me. You dog-ear your favorite quotes, like writing in a book I think is awesome, I love all that stuff, but some people are just terrified of that. Some people, that would be enough to make them scream. Of course, this list would be incomplete without every bookworm's worst fear, the dreaded reading slump! Reading slumps are the absolute worst. I'm speaking from experience here. I just did a video recently on how to get out of a reading slump, so if you are experiencing your worst fear right now, I'm so sorry, and I will link that video down below, so hopefully you will be able to get out of it because reading slumps are actually like a worst nightmare. They are awful. Getting back to new releases, there is no pain worse than when you are so excited for a book. Your favorite author is coming out with something new and you can't wait for it. You have had that date marked on your calendar for ages, ever since they first announced the book, and then the date gets pushed back. I understand why this happens, but it is so sad from a reader's side. Obviously the author needs time to perfect the book and everything, but it is still a very sad time for readers. Quite possibly the most annoying bookworm fear is when you are sitting there reading your book, you're having a great time, and then someone interrupts you mid-sentence and you lose your spot. It's also very annoying when someone keeps on trying to talk to you and you're trying to like give them the message like, I'm reading here, please leave me alone, kindly F off. And you have to read the same like sentence or the same paragraph like 12 times over to keep reading. You don't understand it, it's just not working because people keep on talking to you. Open book means your mouth should be closed, okay? Just know, that is a known fact. Close your mouth if my book is open. Another giant fear of mine is the dreaded mid-series cover change. I'm not particularly picky about my books matching because I mean, they just go where they go with the rainbow on my shelves anyways, but it is still very annoying. I know quite a few people hate when they'll have like a hardcover of one book and a paperback of the other. They just don't like that, so they wait for the paperback for everything, and that's another thing. A lot of people really hate and are terrified of the fact that paperbacks always come out a year after the initial release of the hardcover. But getting back to cover changes, a great example of this is The Diviners by Libba Bray. This series has seen not one, not two, but 3 cover changes in 3 books. The first cover was so beautiful. The second one, not so beautiful. The third is better, but I want the first cover again for all of the books. Like, I'm so curious. The next book, is there gonna be a new cover? I don't know. Maybe there just won't be a cover at all. That might even be better. That is one that gets me riled up because I'm so mad about it. Now, I haven't read Kingdom of Ash yet, but say you read Kingdom of Ash, you have been reading this series for like 7 books. I don't know if it's 7 or 8. I don't know. But the point is, you have spent years committed to this series. You have spent like a month of your life reading them all. If you add up all the reading time together, it's probably that long because these books are huge. And then you read that final book that you have been anticipating so much, just so excited for, and it sucks. I am always terrified for the last book of a series and even any sequels, because what if I love the first book and then I don't love the next one? What am I supposed to do then? It's just like when an author that you really, really love is coming out with another book. I'm so excited for it, but at the same time, what if I don't like it? That is terrifying. This kind of reminds me a bit of the Shatter Me series. The Shatter Me series was done. It was finito, that was it, and then there were more books added. And I'm always skeptical because what if I don't like the new books as much as the other ones? Like, I don't know if I'd like the series again reading it. I did enjoy it, but there is always that chance that I could fall out of love with one of my favorite series, and that's sad and just very scary. Now, obviously, I have quite a bit of room on my bookshelves because I have a lot of books like in storage and stuff, because I just didn't want my bookshelves to be so crammed anymore, because it terrifies me to have a just full bookshelf where if I get any new books, I don't have anywhere to put them. I need like a Mary Poppins style bookshelf where like I can just have a never-ending thing of books and it would be fine. I wouldn't have to worry about space anymore. It would just be a beautiful situation, but unfortunately that doesn't exist, even though it really needs to. Speaking of bookshelves, there is nothing more terrifying than having your never-ending TBR pile on your shelves for you to stare at while you're trying to fall asleep and just be like, I can't read you now, I can't do it, the reading slump, but they're like, read me! Giant TBR piles are awful. They are just terrifying. Some people like it, and I envy you people, because I wish I could deal with a giant TBR pile, but I know that there's going to be books coming out that I'm going to add to that TBR pile, and that doesn't mean that I'll have read any of the ones that are already on it. It is just a vicious cycle of having a giant TBR pile, and that's like my worst fear. Another fear is when you are making a bookish friend. You're finally getting a friendship going that is not with a book character. You're all talking about your favorite books, and then say you love, like, I don't know, The Book Thief, and then they're like, oh, I hated that book. That book was trash. And then you just kind of go, nah. No, I completely respect anyone's opinion. If you hate a book that I love, that is totally fine. You are entitled to your very wrong opinion. I'm just kidding. You can think whatever you want because every reader is different. I truly believe that not every reader reads the same book. So it might not be a book that is for you, but there's nothing worse when then they go and they continue to trash it and just throw it in the garbage and just absolutely annihilate it. That is so sad. But once again, that is their opinion and that is fine. I will just trash their favorite book out of spite. I'm just kidding, but yeah. Another big fear of mine is if I take the dust jacket off of whatever book I'm reading, which I don't generally do, but I know most people do, and then you lose the dust jacket. So then you are stuck with this naked, vulnerable book that is just there like, no, cover me. It's so sad. Also, when the dust jacket is off, the dust jacket is very vulnerable as well to like rips and stuff, like ripped pages, ripped dust jackets. No, thank you. Another great fear of many people is when your favorite character is killed off. You are like, why? There's a certain book that I'm thinking of right now. If you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, be glad that you don't, because it just felt like a waste of time. I'm one of the few people who actually kind of enjoyed that, but there have been other instances where I'm like, why did they gotta die? Why did they gotta die? Yep. I wrote a book. Like, why? Like, there's a certain Harry Potter death that I can't because it's just too sad. And no, it was totally unnecessary. Whew, I need to calm down. So those were all of my bookworm's worst fears. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you agree with these fears. Let me know if they don't terrify you, if you are a brave reader, or let me know which I didn't talk about that really scare you. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different, but I thought it would be something fun to do for Halloween. So I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. I'm filming this early, but on the day that this video goes up, I will be doing a 24-hour readathon with spooky reads. So if you wanted to join me, it's just gonna be really casual and I'm just gonna be like vlogging the whole thing. So yeah, that'll be fun. So hopefully when this video goes up, I will be reading because that is what I should be doing. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to click that subscribe button and then click that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post. I put up new videos every Wednesday and Friday, and I'm also part of the Bookmarked live show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but all that information will be down below for you guys. You can also follow me on all of my social media, all of my handles and links and all that jazz will be down below as well. So I hope you guys have a happy Halloween and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Woo!